Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to this evening's City Council meeting for the Mesa City Council for Monday, September 23rd, 2013. I am Mayor Scott Smith, and as always, it's an honor and a privilege for me to conduct this meeting. We'll begin tonight's meeting with an invocation by Pastor James Adams of Cornerstone Church, after which I will lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise for the invocation and the pledge.
Let's bow before the Lord and ask for his blessing upon this meeting this evening. Father, we do ask for that blessing upon our nation, even as we would bow in your presence. We thank you for preserving us and giving us such abundance of your blessings. We pray also for Mesa. We thank you for this city where we've had such great peace. We pray that you'd continue to preserve us. We think of other places where there has been such turmoil, such horror of thinking of the murders in these very recent days. And we pray, oh Lord, you would have mercy upon us as a city. Preserve us. Cause us not to be a city that's polarized, but with all the great diversity, that we would have a oneness of working together. We ask also, Lord, for your blessing upon this meeting. We ask all these things in the name of the one who is the Prince of Peace. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Please be seated. We'll now proceed with the welcome.
Welcome to the Mesa City Council meeting. Thank you for your interest in the city of Mesa. At this time, please turn off or select the vibrate option on all cell phones while the meeting is in progress. If you would like to speak on any items, please fill out the blue cards located in the back of the room and give it to the city clerk. We ask you to limit your comments to 3 minutes. You can also ask for an item to be removed from the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are read into the record and voted on in one motion. At the end of tonight's meeting, under items from citizens present, there will be an opportunity for 3 citizens to speak on any issue, with a maximum of 3 minutes each. The council cannot respond to your comments. When the mayor calls your name, please step up to the podium, state your name and address, and make your comments. The city of Mesa operates under a council district system with the mayor elected at large. The mayor of Mesa is Scott Smith, serving his second term. There are 6 districts in Mesa, and here are your elected council members. In District 1, Dave Richens represents Northwest Mesa. In District 2, Vice Mayor Alex Finter represents Central and South Central Mesa. In District 3, Dennis Kavanaugh represents Southwest Mesa and the area south of downtown. In District 4, Christopher Glover represents downtown Mesa. In District 5, David Luna represents Northeast Mesa. And in District 6, Scott Summers represents Southeast Mesa. Information about your council member and the city of Mesa is available online at mesaaz.gov. All city council meetings are broadcast live and then rebroadcast on Mesa Channel 11 and on mesachannel11.com.
Thank you. Hey, Kathy. Somehow I don't have the papers for the next item on the agenda. That's called a major glitch. Thank you. Tonight we have the rare opportunity to do something pretty special, and that's to swear in a new member of the Mesa City Council. This is especially momentous because David Luna is the gentleman who was selected through a very, very difficult, arduous process, but that was difficult because there were so many good people and very qualified people who had applied, and David Luna rose to the top. And for those of you who know David, that was not a surprise. If you look at his years of service in the community, with Mesa Schools, with a variety of organizations, he is certainly well suited. And most of all, I want you to know David Luna is an incredible person. And he's just a good human being and a good person. So we are so privileged to have David serving with us, and we now will proceed with the formal swearing in. But before we go, David, I'd like you to introduce any family or anyone really special here that you want to talk about. And the first thing you'll learn is Councilmember Glover will show you how to turn on the microphone. Councilmember Glover, do you know how to turn on the microphone? Oh, okay.
The difference is, Mayor, I know when to do it sparingly. So.
Oh, okay. Oh. You see, me, I've developed carpal tunnel. I have physical damage from pushing that. So you do it for health reasons. That's good. I like that. I like that. So, David, why don't you introduce us to anyone in the audience that you really need to do? And then we'll give you a chance to speak after you get sworn in. But go ahead and just introduce us to whoever's here with you.
I'd like to introduce my wife, Hilda Luna, if she wouldn't mind standing up. Hilda currently works at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Gilbert, and we've been married for 35 years.
Wow.
And we have 2 daughters, and hopefully my daughters are watching from Manhattan in New York City, and hopefully the other one in Seattle are watching the live stream as it's actually occurring. So thank you, Hilda, for being my partner for so many years. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her support. And of course, I have many colleagues and friends. There's my colleague, Pete Lesser from Mesa Public Schools, who is the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources. And later you're going to meet some other colleagues. There's my friend Phil Austin from back there, and he's with the Mesa Association of Hispanic Citizens. Another colleague is Napoleon Pisano. We've done a lot of community work together. And Teresa Bryce is also here with her husband, John. And we've done a number of community activities together. And also, let's see, my friend Manny back there, Saucedo. We've had a lot of good times together. That's all I'll say with him. And let's see, I hope I didn't forget anybody. My friend Dave Ugdahl back there, Dave, wave. Dave and I actually started working together at Mesa United Way. And many of you have probably watched the video where Dave started as a character in the 1940s, 30s. Anyway, we had a good time doing that video together. And there's my friend Matt Tafoya back there, who is presiding judge for the city of Mesa. Thank you for being here. And then my 2 colleagues back there that actually competed for this position, who applied for the job. If they wouldn't mind standing, Kathleen and Kevin. Yeah. And Deb Duvall, who also wanted to be here but wasn't able to be here because she couldn't due to an illness. But I thank you for coming, and that indicates the type of people that actually applied for this position. And I think I've mentioned everyone here. And anyway, that's it. And of course, Mike Hughes, who is going to be presenting the oath.
Well, good. Well, thank you, and welcome to all of you, friends of Dave. And I'm sure that there's so many more that aren't here. But the great thing about this job is that you'll find you make friends that you will cherish for your whole life, because you meet them in a different arena, and it's just amazing the great people that you meet as part of this endeavor and this position. So thank you. So, Mike Hughes, I think you're going to be the one that administers the oath, and if you 2 want to go down and.
Glad you got the mics set up.
We did.
Why don't we quit?
Thank you very much, Councilmember Luna. This is quite an honor. Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, David Luna,
I, David Luna,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of Council Member District 5
of the office of Council Member District
of
5
the City of Mesa, Arizona,
of the city of Mesa, Arizona,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mike. And now, if you have any words of wisdom, now you get to impart those.
Well, I'd like to, first of all, thank the council for selecting me to serve in this capacity. It's a real privilege and an honor to represent District 5. I'd like to let my district know that I represent everyone that lives and resides within that district. And I look forward to working with Mesa City Council and moving Mesa forward. I'm very optimistic. You'll get to know me. I'm a very optimistic person. I'm very positive. And I want what's the best for all the citizens that live here in Mesa. And I'm so anxious and looking forward to work with all of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Boy, the rest of the agenda just sort of seems like it's anticlimactic, doesn't it?
You're right. I moved to adjourn.
I shouldn't have said that before I introduced former council member Pat Pomeroy, because Pat is never anticlimactic. I've known Pat for quite a long time. I went to school with his kids, lived in Bolivia for a couple of years with his son, and just like you've got some stories, I have stories too. I think both of those are better left unsaid. But the reason Pat is here, along with another fellow member of what was called the Freeholders, was that Pat was part of the group, a very select group, that wrote the Mesa City Charter in about 46 years ago now, if I'm doing my math correctly. And Pat has written a very, very nice little summary of what took place, what happened in creating that. So, Pat, if you want to come on up, and I guess you want to introduce Mr. Udall, or I guess I just introduced him, didn't I?
You introduced him, and I couldn't possibly introduce him.
Yeah, a man who needs or deserves no introduction, Dave Udall. So, Pat
Mayor and
Pomeroy.
City Council, nice to be here, and nice particularly to witness the swearing in of Councilmember Luna. Congratulations to you and best wishes. As you said, Mayor, 47 years ago, along with 13 others, I was elected to serve on the board of Freeholders to write a charter for the city of Mesa. We thought that the charter was so good that you would never have to amend it. But it's been amended, as I know, many, many times. I thought that it was important for historical purposes that a record be made of what took place and the city charter movement. So that's what this little booklet is about, to tell you why the city charter came about and how it came about. And there's some interesting things. If you weren't around in 1967, when Mesa had a population of about 55,000, about 1/6, 1/5, somewhere in that area of what we have now, when this city charter was written. Mesa was not the first city to write a charter in Arizona. There were 7 other cities that already had a charter. So this little booklet will tell you why it came about, how it came about, and runs through that particular movement. So hopefully each one of the council members and anyone else who would like to have one will get a copy of this book. Did they leave you a book on your desk there? Okay, Ian has those. In fact, I also want to mention that Ian listened, and an intern that worked with him, Haley Anderson, helped me put the finishing touches on this. So I'm very appreciative of their assistance. And also should mention that of the 14 freeholders, 5 are still living. Dave Udall and Maury Jones, Blaine Camard, and Henry Hawes, and myself are the 5 that still survive. So it was a great opportunity, and I know while I served on the council, and there's always times when somebody comes up and says, well, what did the Board of Freeholders intend when they wrote this? And there's not much really that we can reveal in regards to that, because only one person can answer that for 13 others. But at least maybe this will give you an idea as to why it came about and how it developed. And I appreciate the opportunity. We we plan to leave some copies in the library, and be happy to share that with anyone that would like to have a copy. We have, I printed up about 200 copies. So, Mayor, thank you very much, and I hope you have the opportunity to review that.
Thank you. And as a matter of fact, I have already read it. I got to tell you, I'm a bit disappointed. I was thinking this was a tell-all. I thought there was going to be some salacious stories about Dave Udall in here. There either were none to tell, or you're holding them close to the vest. One of the two.
Well, he paid me a lot of money to keep it.
Well, first of all, I don't believe Dave Udall's ever paid anybody a lot of money.
True.
To do anything. So whatever he paid you, it wasn't worth it. But no, thank you. This is really interesting. And believe it or not, just in the past year, Debbie, there have been a couple of situations where we actually did ask that question. What did the freeholders intend? And, the interesting thing is we went back and we looked at some of the notes that Lamar Shelley had written, which there aren't a whole lot of detailed records, but Lamar did take a few notes, and we do have those. And there are some other notes and minutes from public hearings. But we have actually at least a couple times, especially as we were looking to amend as related to elections, we're looking to see, and the question was asked, what did the freeholders intend? So thank you for doing this. It's very interesting, and it is part of our history and also part of our future, because we found out recently how important it is to have a charter and to have that ability to determine for ourselves, whether you call it home rule or whether you call it charter type of government, whatever it is so important that Mesa and Mesa citizens have the opportunity to determine for themselves the kind of city that they're going to develop. And that's the interesting about cities that people don't realize. The state does not create cities. There's not been a single city that I know of in this state that was created by the state. Every city was created by people. The state constitution gives people the right and the power to come together and to incorporate. And then they give them the power, if they so decide, to create a charter, to further define how they are going to be governed. Recent court decisions, it was really interesting, gave a history as to how this power came about and why having charters is so important. And we've seen that under our Constitution that there's a lot of deference given to cities that have charters, that the Constitution, according to the Arizona Supreme Court, does give the citizens the right to operate in a charter environment as they decide. And so this was a very important part of Mesa's history. And thank you for.
Thank you.
You guys must have been like what, teenagers when you did this?
I was 15.
Good. That was pretty good. Vice Mayor. Oh yeah, let's have a picture. Why don't we have all the council, if we could, come down here in front. Mr. Udall, please.
We are totally confused on sides here. Yeah, can I borrow somebody's quote? Yeah, here.
You're okay. They'll make you guys stand out, and you should stand out. Why don't you guys get in the middle here? Yeah. Come out okay?
He is now.
All right. Thanks, Frank.
Well done. Thanks for the recognition. Good and bad.
I was kidding.
Yeah.
Fortunately, nobody else did that. Thank you. Once again, it is our great opportunity to recognize people in the city of Mesa who have gone beyond the basic responsibilities of ownership and have invested their time and their money and their energy into making a property even pretty special. And 2 years ago, we created the Extraordinary Properties Campaign as a way to recognize those people that really improve our city, that are part of building that great city. We're recognizing our 8th group of recipients, and these 8 groups, while owning very unique properties, they have one thing in common. When you look at the picture, when you see what they have done, usually often by the sweat of their brow, always personally directing the activities and spending a great deal of time and even a great deal of money into taking properties that otherwise would be ordinary and making them extraordinary is something to behold. Here to talk more about the program and introduce our reward recipients for tonight is Laura Heineman, our Deputy Director with the City's Development and Sustainability Department. Laura.
Thank you, Mayor. Our Extraordinary Properties campaign receives nominations from the community as well as code compliance officers who are out in the neighborhoods and they see such properties. Each quarter, a panel of community leaders reviews the nominations and selects 4 properties to be recognized by City Council because they really are maintained to a higher standard than those around them. This evening, 4 properties will be recognized by City Council. They are receiving a certificate and a sign that will show you on the monitor that they'll be able to display in their yard for 3 months. And each will be nominated for the Mayor's Building a Better Neighborhood Award. Every exceptional property that is nominated, whether selected or not, receives a thank you note because it's what they do really makes this community a nice place to live. Our first recipient is for a commercial property, and it goes to 3 couples. Ruben and Marciela Alvarez, Tyler and Kristen Robinson, and Steve and Christy Beck for a backyard taco shop at 1524 East University Drive. The backyard taco began because Marcella and Ruben were literally cooking tacos in their backyard for family and friends. The tacos were so good and unusual that the group of friends decided to make a business out of it. Thus the name Backyard Taco Shop. The owners took a rundown problem property and created an attractive, safe gathering place for the neighborhood. Presenting the certificate to the Alvarezes, the Robinsons, and the Becks will be District 4 Councilmember Chris Gover and Mayor Smith.
Once again, congratulations. Good job. Thank you. Okay, come on over here. Let's line it up. Okay, much good.
Come on to the center.
There you go.
Thank you. The other 3 recipients this evening are for residential properties. First, we want to recognize David and Jessica Hawks for their home on East Nielsen in the Beverly Estates neighborhood. The Hawks purchased the home 5 years ago, at which time David began work on the landscaping. He installed the lawn, shrubbery, a paver walkway, curbing, river rock, and water systems. They always try to keep the home very nice. Presenting the certificate to the Hawks will be Councilmember Glover and Mayor Smith. Next, we want to recognize Nazario, Antonietta, and Nancy Mendez for their home on East Alpine Avenue in the Oak Park neighborhood. The Mendez home really stands out. They've lived there for 11 years. Mr. Menendez explained that he maintains his lovely home to reflect well on his family. Our final recipient for the Extraordinary Properties Award are Mark and Donna Rodacker for their home on West Calaria Avenue in the Wood Glen neighborhood. Their landscaper performs a simple but effective task when he finishes raking the yard with lines crisscrossing one way and the other. The owners receive compliments on this technique and are often asked how it's done. Presenting the certificate are District 3 Councilmember Dennis Kavanaugh and Mayor Smith. Thank you. This is very nice. Thank you. Congratulations to all the recipients. I want to thank Trudy Arledge from our Development and Sustainability Department for coordinating this effort, and our code compliance officers who have submitted nominations, as well as the residents who've set in nominations. We also want to thank our committee of volunteers who helped select the properties: Linda Flick, Cynthia Dunham, Pat Gilbert, Kirsten Howe, and Stephanie Wright. We're always accepting nominations for extraordinary properties. If you see a home or property in the neighborhood that really stands out in the area of Mesa where it's located, you can submit the nomination to Mesa's Extraordinary Properties at mesaaz.gov. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. And let's hear it again for all of our recipients. You know, there's a couple of great things about this program. First of all, to our Christine Zelonka and our Development Sustainability Department for keeping this going, for being really persistent and making sure that people who do extraordinary things with their properties are recognized. If you noticed, these are not brand new homes. This is not about new builds. These are in our more mature neighborhoods. Neighborhoods where it could be easy, and some people have let their properties, go downhill. And the pride of ownership, which translates into pride in your neighborhood, is extraordinary. And these property owners, mostly homeowners and the commercial owners, have a huge impact, as we talked about before, on their neighbors and on their neighborhoods. And this is how you keep a neighborhood multi-generational and keep people in there for a long time is the efforts of homeowners and property owners like this. So thank you to all of you who have put forth this extraordinary effort, and thanks to all those who are involved in the city side for continuing to recognize these. This never gets old. We appreciate it. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda, and tonight the consent agenda will be read into the record by Kevin Christopher. Kevin.
Good evening. All citizens are permitted and encouraged to speak on agenda items. If you are interested in speaking, please fill out a blue card in the back of the room and give it to the city clerk. When the council considers the item, you'll be called to the podium to provide your comments. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. If a citizen wants an item removed, a blue card must be completed and given to the city clerk prior to the council's vote on the consent agenda. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Item 3A, act on liquor license application for Max Mart, 735 East McKellips Road. Item 3B, act on liquor license application for Arizona Golf Resort, 425 South Power Road. Item 3C, act on liquor license application for Ultimate Imaginations Incorporated, one-day charitable event Friday, October 4th on Main Street from Robeson to Center Street. Item 3D, act on liquor license application for Christ the King Roman Catholic Parish, one-day charitable event Saturday, October 19th, 1551 East Dana Avenue. Item 4A, act on bingo license application for Hometown Crescent Run, 8500 East Southern Avenue. Items 5A through 5I are for contracts for rehabilitation of residential property acquired under federal entitlement grants. Item 5A is for a single-family home at 1222 West 6th Drive. Item 5B is for a single-family home at 742 South Parcel Circle. Item 5C is for a single-family home at 1857 East Nielsen Avenue. Item 5D is for a single-family home at 712 East Hampton Avenue. Item 5E is for a single-family home at 335 East 7th Drive. Item 5F is for a single-family home at 1464 West Crescent Avenue. Item 5G is for a single-family home at 639 South Elm. Item 5H is for a multi-resident unit at 3030 South Alma School Road. Item 5I is for a multi-resident unit at 600 South Dobson Road. This project for items 5A through 5I is fully funded by the Neighborhood Stabilization Program grant provided by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Item 5J, act on 4-year service agreement for Motorola system upgrade for the Communications Department. Item 5K, act on 3-year term contract for utility bill envelopes for the Materials and Supply Warehouse for the Business Services Department. Item 5L, act on term contract for fire protection equipment maintenance and repair services for citywide locations as requested for facilities maintenance. Item 5M, act on contract to purchase 1 replacement sewer cleaning truck for the Water Resources Department. This purchase is funded by the Utility Replacement Extension and Renewal Fund. Item 5N, act on 3-year term contract for replacement handheld computer meter reading devices for the Water Resources Department. This purchase is funded by the Utility Replacement Extension and Renewal Fund, and the ensuring maintenance agreement will be funded through the Water Resources Operating and Maintenance Budget. Item 5O, act on 3-year term contract for emergency response, non-emergency response, and household hazardous waste event support for the Development and Sustainability Department. Item 5P, act on contract to ratify emergency purchase of tree removal services at the Dobson Ranch Golf Course for the Parks, Recreation, and Commercial Facilities Department. Item 5Q, act on 5-year term contract for replacement playground equipment parts for the Parks, Recreation, and Commercial Facilities Department. Item 5R, act on emergency award of month-to-month contract for landscape maintenance for parks and retention basins, Zone 4, for the Parks, Recreation, and Commercial Facilities Department. Item 5S, act on 5-year term contract for vaccines for the Fire and Medical Services Department. This purchase is grant funded by the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community and by Fire and Medical Services operating budget. Item 5T, act on contract for Val Vista Transmission Main Phase 1. This project is funded by the 2010 Water Bond Fund. Item 6A, act on resolution extinguishing public drainage easements at 7612 and 7625 East Leonora. Item 6B, act on resolution extinguishing easements for drainage, ingress and egress, public utilities and facilities, and vehicular non-access, all located in Hermosa Estates 2. Item 6C, act on resolution vacating a portion of public roadway at 2634 North Mesa Drive that is no longer needed. Item 6D, act on resolution authorizing city manager to execute a foreign trade zone operators agreement for foreign zone 221 with NAMO Tactical Ammunition Company to operate a warehouse facility on the Phoenix Mesa Gateway property at 6002 South Ellsworth Road. Item 7A, act on ordinance amending various sections of the Mesa City Code to increase the speed limit on Mountain Road from Mesquite Street to Ray Road. Item 7B, act on ordinance regarding A13-07 for annexation of Maricopa County right-of-way for a portion of East Southern Avenue from east of South Cheshire to west of Crisman Road. Item 7C, act on ordinance regarding Z13-033HL, 59 East 1st Street, located north of Main Street and west of Mesa Drive, rezone and an option to opt into the form-based code to add a historic landmark overlay for this address. Item 7D, act on ordinance regarding Z13-036, the 2900 to 3000 blocks of South Sossaman Road, located south of Guadalupe Road, west of Sossaman, modification of planned area development for Desert Place at Morrison Ranch to allow an increase in residential lot coverage. Item 7E, act on ordinance regarding Z13-037, the 8800 block of East Upper Canyon Drive, located north of McKellips Road, west of Ellsworth Road, rezone and site plan review to allow residential development on parcel 4B at Mountain Bridge. Item 7F, act on ordinance regarding Z13-038, the 8900 block of East Desert Foothills Drive, located south of McKellips Road, west of Ellsworth Road, rezone and site plan review to allow residential development on parcels 19 and 28 at Mountain Bridge. Item 7G, act on ordinance regarding Z13-039, the 8700 block of East Upper Canyon Drive, located north of McKellips Road, east of Haas Road, rezone and site plan review to allow residential development on parcel 9 at Mountain Bridge. Item 7H, act on ordinance regarding Z13-041, 4142 East Otto Valley Drive, located west of Greenfield Road, north of Baseline Road, rezone and site plan review to allow development of a self-storage facility. Item 7I, act on ordinance regarding Z13-042, the 5200 to 5500 blocks of South Signal Butte Road and the 5200 to 5500 blocks of South Mountain Road, located between Signal Butte and Mountain Road just south of Ray Road. Modification of planned area development and rezone to allow residential development. Item 8A, act on subdivision plat Granite Ridge, the 9800 block of East McKellips Road, located south of McKellips Road and west of Crisman Road. And item 8B, act on subdivision plat Bella Via 11A, the 10,900 block of East Ray Road, located south and east of Signal Butte and Ray Roads. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Kevin. Is there any item a member of the council would like to remove from the consent agenda? Ms. Mickelson, any requests from the public to remove an item from the consent agenda?
No request, Mayor.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda by Councilmember Kavanaugh, a second from Councilmember Glover. Is there any discussion? Please vote. The vote is 7-0, and the motion carries. The next item, and I guess I should have asked this, Debbie, this is item 9 is to conduct a public hearing regarding the continuance of existing. Item 9A, is that an action item to approve the continuance? Because it's a little bit unclear. Or is this just to conduct the public hearing?
No, Mayor, this is just to conduct a public hearing, and after we take the public hearing at a later date, we'll have an introduction of the ordinance and then consideration.
Right. I should have asked that, but that's what it appeared to be, was just the conduct hearing. We have conducting a public hearing regarding the continuance of existing development impact fees. Are there any questions or comments from the public hearing is now open? Are there any questions and comments from the council? Ms. Mickelson, are there any requests to speak from the public?
No request, Mayor.
There being none, declare the public hearing closed. Next item is item 10, conduct a public hearing and take action on proposed rate increases as noticed on the August 19, 2013 council meeting and the following ordinance with accompanying resolution that was introduced at the September 9th, 2013 council meeting relating to multi-unit dwelling wastewater schedules. Declare the public hearing open. Are there any questions or comments from the council? Ms. Mickelson, are there any requests to speak from the public?
No request, Mayor.
There being none, we'll declare the public hearing closed. The next item is item 10B, take action on an ordinance modifying the multi-unit dwelling wastewater schedules with increased rates, components, fees, or charges. I'll entertain a motion on item 10B. We have a motion to approve from Councilmember Richens, a second from Councilmember Summers. Are there any questions or comments? Please vote. The vote is 7-0, and the motion carries. The next item is items from citizen present. Ms. Mickelson, are there any requests to speak?
No request, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn from Councilmember Kavanaugh, second from Councilmember Glover. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. Congratulations, Councilmember Luna. You done did well. Thank you.